According to the People Living with HIV Stigma Index report of 2013, 23% of every 1,000 HIV-positive people surveyed were reported to lose jobs, and some were discriminated at work by either their co-workers or employers in 2012. It also reveals that the commonest form of HIV/AIDS stigma is through gossip, verbal insults, and threats. Back in the days, HIV/AIDS was majorly linked to a careless lifestyle and prostitution. Today, however, many young people living with HIV/AIDS were born with it. 22-year-old Nakato Martha Clara is one of the young people born with HIV/AIDS. She had lost hope for life after discovering that she is HIV positive.
I was born with HIV, but I got to find out when I was only 14 years. So looking back at all the 14 years that I had lived, I was living a happy life, this playful girl, cheerful, charming, everything. And you know the schools we went to that till now you'll find posters saying AIDS kills, you know, HIV kills. So every time you'd hear the word HIV, you know one thing, hey, you're going to die, death. So at 14, I find out I'm living with HIV very innocently. And I was like, how is this possible? The first thing that ran to my mind is death.
Another is 22-year-old Gloria Nawanyaga, a third-year law student at Uganda Christian University. Nawanyaga loathed her parents when they disclosed to her and a sibling that they were born with HIV/AIDS.
My story, I was born with HIV, and I got to know about my status when I was 11 years. But my mom at first was afraid to tell me about my status because she thought that maybe I would judge her or criticize her or blame her for whatever happened. So she decided to tell me because by then we used to go so much to the hospital for medical checkups almost every week. So I would ask her, Mom, why do we always go to hospital? And she was also afraid to tell me, to open up to me that, you know what, this and this happened, or you are this and this.
Majority of these innocent young people living with HIV/AIDS undergo psychological torture after discovering their HIV status. Nakato Martha Clara has overcome 8 suicidal attempts.
So at 14, I find out I'm living with HIV very innocently. And I was like, how is this possible? The first thing that ran to my mind is death. I am going to die. And that is when the suicide attempts began.
But with all this emotional and psychological disturbance, stigma and discrimination is not the kind of treatment the young people innocently living with HIV/AIDS deserve. The vice leaves the patients vulnerable, yet they can still live a long life and achieve their dreams with the help of the antiretroviral drugs, unlike in the past. It is here that a beauty pageant dubbed Y+, created by the Uganda network of young people living with HIV/AIDS, comes in play.
The Y+ Beauty Pageant is a campaign for the young people living with HIV. It is I'll call it an edutainment campaign that we use to fight stigma and discrimination among these young people living with HIV, and this is envisioned with beauty with zero discrimination.
So I got to know about the Y+ Beauty Pageant. It was on Facebook. So there was the former Miss Y+ 2015, Robina. So she had posted something, and when I saw it, like something talking about a beauty pageant, I was like, beauty pageant for living with HIV? I'm like, no, I have to go for this.
For one to qualify for this beauty pageant, they have to be a young woman or man who has triumphed through living with HIV/AIDS so as to champion the fight to end stigma around people living with HIV. 22-year-old Nakato Martha Clara emerged winner of the Miss Y+ Central Region crown in 2016 to 2017. 22-year-old Gloria Nawanyaga is the reigning Miss Y+, and 23-year-old Nyazi Huzairu is the reigning Mr. Y+. But after winning the crown, what next?
I, as the ambassador, my role, first of all, is to be the voice, to speak up what we need, what we want. Secondly, to provide psychosocial support, to inspire those young people. And they feel like, yes, if she reached there, if she can speak up, if she can disclose her status to the world, then why don't I do that? If she's a student and a law student, can't I also make it? to be that inspiration to them.
The first role as Mr. Y Plus is fighting stigma and discrimination among young people living with HIV. It rhymes within the concept of the Y Plus beauty pageant. I have to make sure that I advocate for the rights of young people living with HIV. They are not discriminated, they are not stigmatized.
So is a beauty pageant the best way to fight stigma among the young people living with HIV/AIDS?
Pageant, in this way, it builds the self-esteem, the confidence of the young people, empowers them with skills. As I have said, it gives them platforms both at a national and international level in the districts where the young people live out, to see that they either sensitize the communities about issues of HIV, give peer-to-peer educations to the young people within the facilities, and some of them are attached to the facilities within the communities.
A known city pastor and founder of the Makerere Community Church, Martin Semper, referred to the Miss HIV contest as sheer madness. In an interview with The New Vision, Pastor Semper was quoted saying that having been in the AIDS prevention work for the last 17 years, he is totally dismayed at how AIDS has become, to the point that now we have a beauty contest to celebrate people who have HIV/AIDS. Efforts to talk to him were futile as his phone was always off. However, organizers and contestants of the Y Plus beauty pageant have responded to the city pastor.
I will not criticize Pastor Semper for whatever perception he had around the beauty pageant, because according to me and according to his stand, one, he did not have information around the beauty pageant. So maybe he spoke just, to get attention.
Very many people misinterpret the concept, being that it has the word beauty, and think we're just having young people that have HIV, we're just selling them out there. We're looking at the face, the body. It's not the fact.
According to ONIPA, the organizers of this Y Plus beauty pageant, and the beauty queens and king, the pageant has yielded enormous results in the fight against HIV/AIDS stigma and discrimination, and is still yielding more, as many young people are learning from each other on how to live a positive life with HIV/AIDS.
With the different categories of young people, we have more than, or a great number of 50,000 young people that we reach because of the beauty pageant, because we are a network of young people living with HIV. So we have the beauty pageant, we have the summit, we have the pitch project, we have the Guso project. So with all that, we find that we are reaching a great number of young people.
And besides that, when we come to the national platform, we were advocating for what? For anti-stigma and discrimination policy. This one is not in the process of it is in the making process.
The participants too have numerous achievements to boast of because of the platform provided by the Y Plus beauty pageant.
Becoming a global activist, getting the connections from all around the world, people calling you just to talk to them. Right now I'm a Voice Fund ambassador, which is of course global, because this is a pull from the Global Fund, and I'm the ambassador for Uganda. That is really an achievement. I have met very many friends.
I've transformed very many young people's lives. Today, and to an extent that today young people call you for consultations. There are many young people who are coming on board to contest for the pageant, but it was because of me talking to them.
And to the fellow young people out there, here is a word for you.
For those who are HIV positive and they still stigmatize themselves, having HIV is not the end of life. I decided and made up my mind that HIV cannot define me. I can be anything I want in life. I can do anything I want in life. I'm going to follow my dreams, and I'll reach there one day. So they can also follow their dreams and they can reach there one day.
I'm Victoria Namtebi for Urban TV.